What is up? Welcome back to the LuxAlgo live stream. My name is Jacob. Like always, it is good to be back. The chat is buzzing today. Obviously, today is our very first $300 giveaway to you guys. You chose on Monday to do 3 $100 winners, and very shortly here, we will begin that giveaway. It will be in the chat. That's how you will enter. Now, real quick, if you want to be a winner of this giveaway, okay? If you want to be a winner of this giveaway, you have to be subscribed. That's the only way winners are chosen. You can enter without being subscribed, but only subscribers will be the winners. So make sure you hit that subscribe button here right now before we start this giveaway. It's good to be back though and doing our very first giveaway. We're going to give it a moment for people to come in, but you will have the entire stream to also enter the giveaway, okay? You'll have this whole stream. At the end, we will pick something. The other thing is, guys, we are reaching out to you via the email that is linked to your YouTube, okay? Whatever YouTube you're using to chat with us right now, make sure you have access to that email, okay? If you don't have access to that email, then you will not be able to claim your prize. So if you do win, check your email later this evening. I would say from after the stream until this evening, give us about 12 to 24 hours to actually send you the email to link and set you up with your winnings. But just make sure you have access to that email, okay? If not, we'll try to get in contact with you, but that is the only way that we can actually talk to you. I wish YouTube had a DM type thing, but they don't. So make sure that you have access to that email. Guys, Bitcoin is bouncing perfectly off the level that we talked about all week long. It's sitting above almost 42K now. Like we said, we're bullish at 42,000. And look at this thing absolutely ripping. So super excited about that to look at the charts today. But to start us off, guys, all right, we're using a bot, okay? We're using a bot to do this giveaway that's in the chat. I'm praying it works. If it doesn't, we'll figure out another way to do it today. No matter what, we're doing the giveaway today, okay? So let's try it real quick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the button, and I'm praying that it works. So bear with me if it doesn't. Okay, here we go. Come on, baby. Let's go. All right, it worked. All right, so guys, if you want to enter the giveaway, you have the whole stream to do it. All you have to type in is exclamation 100, and you'll be entered to have a chance to win, okay? And this is the first time doing this, so we're gonna probably have a lot of people. So bear with the bot. This is our first time doing this. Hopefully we get everybody in there. Make sure you type it right, Brad. Brad did exclamation 00. Make sure you type it right. Oh my gosh, dude. Let's go. Exclamation 100, guys. It should automatically tell you guys how to enter yet again as we go through it. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and I don't know how I'm going to do this with you guys typing so much. The other thing I meant to ask or say was everybody only gets one entry on this right now. Eventually in the future, we might do a version in which if you are a returning viewer, you can get tokens for more entries to these giveaways. So be ready for that in the future. For now, guys, bear with the bot. You'll end up getting one at some point as the bot reads all the messages. I'm sure it's built for this, so I'm not too worried about it. But man, let's go, guys. I'm gonna just type this out as well. Jeezers, you guys are going nuts. If you already entered, let's see some money emojis in the chat, or some 100 emojis in the chat. I like that. Let's go, guys. First giveaway ever. There we go. One guy already started it. I love it. I love it. Goodness gracious. Let's go, guys. I love it. Let's get it. Let's get it. We're having fun here now. I'm going to post a comment real quick. Hopefully it doesn't get lost that fast, but I need to They need to pin this. I got it. I stopped it. You can stop it. All right. 1 entry per subscriber. Just know you have 1 entry, by the way. So if you're spamming it, that's a lot of fun. But okay. By the end of the stream, we will select the winners. We have 95 of you right now entered in. Bear with the bot, and we'll let you know here in just a sec and make sure everybody that's in has an entry. But again, it's our first time doing this. So one more time, make sure the email that is linked to your YouTube channel, okay? Make sure that it's linked to your YouTube channel and you have access to it. That's how we're going to be contacting you, okay? So just make sure. We'll put in the chat later on who actually won. And I'll also put it on the screen so you know as well. Because if the chat's still rolling like this, definitely want to do that. All right, let's get into the news for today. The 26th, real quick. Remember we had, where are we at? Here we are. We had PCE this morning. Looks like it missed a bit, but you'll see we're actually not down much today. ES barely in the red, and looks like the NQ is also in the red just a tiny bit. So not bad. We've been pumping like crazy. Crypto's kind of rallying here while the stock market's kind of selling off a bit. But in this case, I forgot to mention, we have 3 minutes left. You guys know the drill. You're all saying, I'm typing that out. But, you know, since we're doing this giveaway, we're also still doing our wheel of analysis. So hopefully I can read your inputs. But, guys, if you want anything specific analyzed, throw it in the chat. I'm going to go over it. We're always going to go over the majors. We need to fill these in real fast before we get into the actual analysis part, but throw them in. Let's write them on the board and get to it. Bitcoin will no matter what be analyzed. Manta was one, the Euro JPY. Euro JPY. Anything else? Let's see. I don't want to miss anything. ES, we're definitely going to go over ES. TRB. I know people yesterday wanted XRP again. I can put that on the board. Solana, definitely. Gold. Gold we always go over, okay? We always go over gold. Shiba, we haven't looked at. We can do Shiba. See what else we got. What else we got here? We got the Euro JPY on here. We're gonna go over Bitcoin. Remember, FTM. I like FTM. Any stocks, guys? Any stocks you guys want to watch? Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Boeing. I like those too. All right, we have one more slot. Remember, we're gonna go over all the majors. XRP's on the board. We're going to go over all the majors, so don't worry about any of those. Gold is one of the majors. We're going to go over gold. Got one in Netflix. Crude. Crude we'll go over. That's one of the majors that I like to look at. All right, we're going to do Netflix. All right, guys. That is filling our board of analysis. I want to make sure we hit it in time because we only have a minute here left in our intro. But again, guys, giveaway. There you go. You can see the bot keeps putting it in there. But we have 120 of you now entered in for the giveaway. We'll be selecting 3 winners to win $100. Make sure that your email linked to your YouTube account is active. You can actually look at it. You're going to have to possibly check your spam as well when we do enter, when we do pick our winners. So just in case, look out for an email. We'll try to we'll keep you updated on that near the end of the stream when we go over it. All right, tomorrow, okay, on Monday, or tomorrow, we got a good weekend ahead. But next week, guys, we're going to look at these real quick. Wall Street Bets obviously has this already out, but the other guys don't just yet. But this is next week earnings for those of you guys that don't know. AMD, Microsoft, Google, Starbucks, very important on Tuesday after close. In this case, that is something you really want to pay attention to, especially if you're in the crypto markets. Big tech stocks, great ones to watch in the crypto markets because most of them are holding Bitcoin, stuff like that. But in this case, that's all we need on Tuesday. Here you go. They're actually putting in consumer confidence 10 a.m. Ooh, I like this. I like this chart. We might use this more. We got consumer confidence at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Awesome. They already have this in there. Decision rate on Wednesday. That's huge. Decision rate on Wednesday. So we definitely need to keep an eye on what's going on Wednesday next week. We also have MasterCard on Wednesday. It didn't look like anything too crazy. But again, Thursday, guys, Apple, Amazon, and Meta. Okay. Huge earnings next week. Thursday, I would say Tuesday and Thursday. Huge earnings. So just be ready for that. Obviously, we'll be streaming with you guys. But all right. Let's get into our Bitcoin analysis really fast here. We got the wheel analysis down there. One sec. All right. 127 you guys have entered. We will be picking them at the end of the stream. So stay tuned to the end of the stream here. In an hour and 14, we'll be picking our 3 winners. And don't worry, if you didn't win this week, you might have a chance to win next week because we are doing a weekly giveaway for you guys. And we'll decide on Monday. Be here on Monday if you want an insight of what next week's giveaway might be. It might be 300 again. It might be, we might decide on if we want to get, AirPods or something like that as well. So we'll take an eye on that on Monday. But in this case, guys, this is what we talked about here. Let me dim the music down a bit. Let me go back. There we go. Boom. All right. Now, this is exactly what we talked about. We talked about this, every single day. We got these big 4-hour candles. Gotta love it. If we go into the daily chart here, this is what, we were talking about this coming down, hitting 38K, right? Now this hit that low of 38.5, which is almost right off that zone we wanted. We've been talking all week about this fair value gap acting as support. And as you can see on Bitcoin, had a very lovely bounce, and now we're back into this range. Now, we are bullish over that 42K mark. So right now you can see we're already showing resistance up here at 42K. Now, in my opinion on this chart here, we definitely want to see, I'm going to take off Smart Trail really fast. We want to see this extend through this level, right? Come up, retrace, and do something like that, right? In this case, if we do go back to that daily chart here, what's really cool to see is now we might have here you go. So midterm here, obviously this set a new low here for the opposite trend, so not a bullish trend. Set a new low here, breaking structure on that change of character. This is why 42 is super important to us. You have that change of character there, as well as this lower high that formed right here, right? We have this line there, yeah. Right there, we have that lower high that formed here off that change of characters. But look at this from a fib pull. We do have room here. If we're going to get that 50% retracement, it lines up with that previous resistance up here at 44K, right? And then you can, possibly get in, maybe on the short side up here at 43, 44. Would we want to see resistance if we were to take this short? In my opinion, though, over 42,000, there's just so much volume here that it actually might drive us into the high, especially trying to get that value back before the halving coming in. You know what? I just realized I forgot I can full screen that ish. There we go. Looking good. But yes, yet again. Oh, let me mention one more time, guys. You have to be subscribed as well if you want to be one of the winners. Okay, so just letting you know, make sure you're subscribed. Only you can enter without being subscribed, but it won't pick you unless you are subscribed to the channel. So make sure you hit that sub button. And guys, like always, our goal is 100 likes. We're already at 87, and we haven't even hit the what mark are we at? We haven't even hit the 20-minute mark. We're at 89 now, so make sure to slam that like button, and we'll do the giveaway at the end of this stream. But reminder, make sure you're subscribed. It should have already told you that. But here we go. All right. Bitcoin, 45K. Yes, I absolutely love that, especially if we get over 42,000, right? 42,000 was our initial bounce or bullish level that we wanted to break back over before we considered any longs. Now, if this does break and hold above 42K, then that's where I would consider some type of long scenario. Now, in this case, remember, this retracement is exactly what we are looking for. I did want a retest of these highs, so it bouncing a little early is a little interesting to me. We're going to see kind of how it plays out here in the next few days. But in this case, though, I do want to pull up what we show you guys quite a bit here is the fixed range profile, and I want to look at where this entered this area, which was on this candle. Yeah, right here into here. Let's see where this is, right? So as you can see, it did break below this and somewhat rejected it, but very weak rejection, right, on this previous lower high, right? So it breaking back into this value range on the daily, it's very low, it's not very many days here, but, there was definitely a lot of trading that formed in this, balance here. So it being back in here is a pretty good sign for it to go back up to 44K. I absolutely love this candle we're getting right now. So very strong buying happening below that 40K mark. And, it probably was inevitable that people were going to buy it that aggressively down there. We had news about, I think it was the SEC or something having to sell $100+ million in Bitcoin, but they'll probably slowly get rid of that. So it doesn't manipulate the market very much. Whoa, we hit the 100K mark, or 100K. That'd be nice. 100K likes. We hit the 100 mark on the likes, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks again. That's the fastest I think we've ever hit it. So maybe we go for the 200 today. But in this case, being back over that 40,000 is beautiful. Hopefully we can hold off of 42K and go from there. Real quick, I'm going to change this. Give me one sec. I'm going to change our title real quick. Bam. All right. Massive volume. All right. In this case, let's go Bitcoin, baby. Let's go Bitcoin. Hey, Mickey, it worked. You see that? Isn't that sick? So we're figuring out this bot thing. That's pretty cool. But in this case, guys, yeah, 42K was that mark. Let's jump into gold. Gold's always the second sought-after ticker. And in this case, you remember what we talked about on gold, and it continues to hold 2,000. Absolutely love that 2,000 hold. That is something we're really looking at. If it continues to hold that, then longs all day long, right? Double time the longs there. But in this case, we talked about this every stream, is we're holding price over this structure point on the price action concepts indicator, right? This change character formed, price is holding. That's exactly what we want to see for a continued trend, proper trend movement. That's what we got. Notice down here with this change character, price happened to break that low, but then failed to hold below it. And thus had another leg down and didn't really hold down here very long and then rallied back up. Now, that was on the weekly chart. In this case, price is holding above 2K, which is really good. It's also holding at these highs, which I really like. Now, to be honest, I don't think I've pulled a fixed volume range on the weekly chart here this week. Let's look. I haven't looked at this just yet. Let's start it here right at the breakout into today. Okay, maybe I have. I don't remember. But this is, pretty much what we were watching. That 2K mark, very, very important. You can see it's outside of this high value range, right? This very aggressive volume range that's been trading through. If it can continue to hold 2K and we get finally a nice Bitcoin pump, Ethereum, we're going to analyze here in just a second. But if we can get a nice Bitcoin similar pump, in that case, off of this level, like we get that high volume come in, you're probably going to see this at least go and retest that high, because up here, not much liquidity hanging out. They're just they're dormant up here, so it definitely has that potential to move to the upside, especially if it holds over these highs like it's doing right now. If we go to that daily chart, though, let's keep an eye on this. Similar situation. What I noticed is this high. Remember, we talked about we have conflicting imbalances here. We have a bullish imbalance and we have a bearish imbalance. That bearish imbalance has been rejecting. In this case, this is the spot in which you just kind of wait to see if structure does get broken. We had that change of character to the downside, but like we said before, it didn't hold in this case. See, it came up, rejected up here off another imbalance, and now it's just trying to chill at this price point. So you definitely have a level from this BOS into this low here this little range below, right above 2,000, I would definitely continue to be bullish here due to this big imbalance that hasn't fully filled just yet. So let's see if we can get a nice, continuation off of the 2K level. And then again, I'm bullish over 2040. Over 2040, I really like it. Then we can consider coming up to the 2080s. If this low does break, though, like we said, that's going to be that 2000 break, and our low target is 1980. On the oscillator as well, we still have bullish money flow, as you can see, right? And, in this case, it has room to that downside to kind of reset. So it's very likely that it could come down. But for now, if it's above 2,000, it's not anything that I'm going to be considering taking a short on, just due to the fact that we are holding very well above that 2K level. If we go to that 4 hour, though, for those of you that are a little bit lower time frame, we'll look at it, and this is the first thing that you can see here is this thing is just following this trend, right? So if anything, I would say, wait for that breakout. So 2020 or 2030. I mean, it's 2027. So 2027 would be a start to that. Like I said, though, we want that 2040. That would get above this pretty high volume traded area on the 4 hour here for those of you that are more shorter term. But it is rejecting this trend pretty easily. So yeah, that imbalance that came down, it's rejecting it. This in a small case here, if I were to pull up like a 1 hour, I don't normally look at the 1 hour. We usually only go to the 4 hour. But as you can see here, you do, this is pretty crazy back and forth price action. But on the 4 hour, it looked better. You do have somewhat of a bear flag formation. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a bear flag. It didn't form very well, but it has the same idea of it, to where you set higher lows on these 4 hour candles and higher highs in the 4 hour candles. So that entails, similar to a bear flag formation, which it's trying to break down right now. So that's what we were saying, that 2K 2005 down here really is where you're really going to watch. Okay. So we'll see if you can get down to that level. But yet again, let's see right now. We are definitely bullish over the 2K mark. So just kind of bear with it. Wait till that trend breaks and then decide on your long entry. Okay. Let's go into Ethereum. Ethereum likes to... Oh, I like that. Real quick, guys, if you're trying to enter the giveaway, remember, you only get one entry. Do I have to be here for the giveaway? You at the end of the stream, you don't necessarily have to be here. At the end of the stream, we're picking 3 winners, and we will be emailing you guys. Okay, so you have to just make sure you're subscribed. For one, that's the only way a winner can be picked, is if they're subscribed. And 2, your email connected to your YouTube channel you have access to, because that's how we'll be reaching you. So you don't necessarily have to be here. You have to look out for an email by tomorrow. Pretty much tonight's, you'll get the email. Then we'll figure out how to get you your winnings. But in this case, guys, yeah, if you only get one entry, we have 157 of you in right now. There's more probably about to come in. It's just the bot's catching up. But we'll definitely see you. We'll see you at the end of the stream to pick our winners, and make sure you're subscribed. Otherwise, it won't pick you. All right, let's look at this. I mean, this pretty much landed right where we were thinking. On this is your Ethereum futures. Hold on. Oh, I'm on economy charts. What am I doing there? Okay, here we go. Much better. All right, so once again, this landed pretty much where we were watching, right? We were talking about these highs and lows lining up. In this case, we had these highs here and these lows here. This is the daily chart, right? Price came back. It's bounced before. It bounced again. If we were to even take that, this is why we like the fixed volume profile, because we can look at it in this case from this level, which is, we're going to say right here is when it broke into it. You could see it bouncing off the bottom of that value range, right? And that's what we were talking about. If it got below 2,200 and closed below 2,200, we're going to see maybe a decent sell-off down here. But in this case, price is holding very well off these highs. It's the bottom of this value range. This is exactly how these ranges trade. In this case, lovely little bounce that we're getting so far. We'll look at the 4 hour here in just a second, make sure we're seeing what we want to see on Ethereum for the upside of this. But you can also tell here on our on the signals and overlays, we do have this breaking back down through the Neo, but the Neo is holding. So If this, in this case, I would honestly want to see this price above 2,400, those highs there for an actual bullish continuation. But we'll look at the 4-hour here really fast, and talk about what we would want to see if we were to like actually, short-term trade this. But in this case, still, it's just hard. It's very hard. You have a very large bearish imbalance left over, sell orders sitting here. And we're going to see, we would probably want to first liquidate this entire bar here. So, over 23.25, maybe consider your area to start, looking for a long. In that case, if we were to say that 23.25, let's just say that's the high. Notice the 50% retracement would line up with these highs, and you can maybe get like a setup that's similar to something like this, But in this case right now, it's something that I would consider just taking longs on, unless you like bought down here, like and this is if you're like a scalper or something. If you bought after this showed support several times, like on this candle or this candle here, then maybe you have now a nice small trade up to like 2,300. But we'll see how that actually ends up playing out. It would be actually interesting here to do our fixed volume profile as well, which broke into that range here. And there you go. Similar lineup, right? We showed on the week or on the daily there. You're above that point of control. So your value, I would say your next TP point 23.82. But like we said already, you can be safe at 2,300 or like 23.40. If that were to continue on the bull side, I would want to see something that goes up and then shows a higher low and then target like a 23.80 or 2,400, something like that. But there you go. That pretty much tells you a pretty decent target in which you would want to look for. On Ethereum, weekly chart, we've discussed this. That high again was coming into play. The oscillator was extended, so it does need to reset a bit, but it is trying to bounce here. But once again, we talk about this every single day, and this is something that we're still watching. If we look at our fixed volume profile yet again, which is off of, let's do this one here. Look at where we're at. So we wanted to see price, let's just say above 2,400, for this to actually consider a nice rally. Like a lot of imbalance was up here with these big pumps, right? Low liquidity was sitting up here. My mouse didn't die. Low liquidity was sitting up here. So in this case, if it actually held above 2,400, you probably would get that rally. But this is why we were targeting like kind of these lows here around 2,500 for take profit on this first run, because it's just the top of that range that we were watching. So for now, on the weekly, I still wanted to see it it'd be nice for it to come back down a little bit, but Bitcoin is going to, or crypto is going to do it at once. But you can see here it had a nice 50% retracement, so it's not terrible. It lined up with this. It looks really good actually for a bigger upside move. But we'll see. I'm not going to fully look long term until that 2,400 breaks, right? So that's what we'll wait for. Let's go to crude oil. If you guys are regulars, if you've been here, this is how I feel right now. This is how I feel right now about crude oil. This is how I feel. All right. So, you guys know the deal. If you've been around and you've heard me talk about crude oil a billion times, I've been long since like 70.44, these low 70s. All right. We've been looking for the 80s, baby. We've been looking for the 80s. But in this case, we've talked about this every time we've gone over crude oil in the past few weeks. Well, this is the breakout we wanted. We were saying crude oil, this is why we took the longs, because for one, it was at a massive volume level, massive trading level here, right? A lot of volume coming off of these lows. If you got sub 68, you guys are insane. If you got even below 70, you guys are insane. But in this case, once again, we've been talking about taking the longs, especially below 75. We really liked. So now we're at 78, right? We're this is our first kind of general take profit. But again, I'm somebody that if the chart doesn't tell me to take profit, like something like in this case, sometimes signals and overlays, I like to look at what TP points they give you. Like on a 4 hour is probably going to be a better bet to look at actually the TP points. And if I pull up the signals and overlays, we're going to pull up the signals. So like in this case, we had one TP here. We were talking about this at 77. We're like, we got our first TP. We're going to see if we get, a continuation. We're not necessarily exiting so long as this is holding strong above the Neo Cloud. And it is, and it's still going. So next TP point be around the 79. Now, order blocks, I do personally take seriously. So in this case, 4-hour order block, I'm going to look over a little bit more than this because this is just gliding through this no bearish reaction. Plus, what do we say about our order blocks? We say that if there's, stronger sellers in an order block print like this, then that means that that's where those sellers were, and they're probably exhausted. They're probably tired. So buyers might take over in this level, right? So, so long as buyers are showing that strength, I'm still holding on tight with this thing. So 79, 75, that's a great target there, Mark. I strongly agree. I think 80 is going to struggle a bit, but remember, we talked about this in the stream for weeks now. The inventory reports the production reports were saying that Q1 was going to be a lot less than the rest of the year. So when that happens, more than likely value does increase. So even if the barrels are at a surplus, it still increases, right? So in this case, definitely a very nice move that we've been watching. Very happy about it. So once like you said there, let's see the 4-hour here. 4-hour here, I would say, 79 is going to be that area that I'm really watching for take profits. If it blows right through it, then obviously we'll still hold. But for now, 79 is that target. So I'm going to make sure we touched majority of the. Let's go over the NQ here. And this is, remember what we talked about before. So we have, right? We had a new high that got set. Look at the slowing of the candles. Hold on. Bear with me here. Look at the slowing of the candles on the wicks. And then today we had a small little gap down with the report on. Give me a second. Obviously, this week we had that GDP. We had the GDP report on Wednesday, and it was a beat, right? Let me double check. Where'd it go? Yes. No, it was Thursday. Sorry. We had GDP and PCE. GDP yesterday, and it was a beat on the QOQ. And in that case, the dollar wants to ride, right? Remember, we talked about the Dixie USD. What am I doing? We talked about the Dixie yesterday, showing that, somewhat of a breakout, right? We had a nice, bullish run yesterday, and we did break out the change of character there. Usually when you see the dollar index increasing, you might get a slowing of, goodness gracious. You might get a slowing of price or buyers at these highs. And again, this is proper trend movement, right? In this case, it's still very, very nice for a trend continuation. You probably want a small little retracement there to continue. I would say your 50 retracement from swing to swing. Guess where it lines up? Roughly at the same high that we set before we just broke it. So in that case, I would want to see maybe how it trades through this imbalance sitting on the NQ, and then I would look for that. But this is very healthy. You can see we are extended. Notice price. Notice the oscillator's also trying. It'll probably connect a new divergence here if this is confirmed here in a little bit or in a few days. But in this case here, it's looking like we had an early divergence signaling here, but remember, we like to look for those gap divergences. Gap divergences like this is something we really watch for when we're looking for actual confirmed divergence. But in this case, with this retracing right now, very, very healthy for this market to continue. So I really like that on the NASDAQ. But since we're at 50 minutes here, I need to speed things up. Let's get into the wheel of analysis. And if you just joined us, remember, to enter the giveaway, you have to put in exclamation 100. You get one entry, and you have to be a subscriber to be a winner. And make sure you have access to the email that you are using with your YouTube channel. So we will make sure to email you via that by tomorrow. So pay attention tonight into tomorrow for your email if you are a winner. So here we go. On to the first wheel of analysis spin. Shiba peeking its little head out to say, hey, analyze me first. All right. For my Shiba fans out there, My goodness. All right. One thing I will consider with a disclaimer around Shiba and Doge and some of these meme coins. This is something that is extremely, extremely risky. All right. Something I would never consider day trading for one, especially if you're over leveraged, because at any moment a little rug can just get pulled and then you'll just get slammed. Right. So there's a lot of guys out there just holding bags and bags of this coin. So they can just drill you like this any day they want. They can take you out if they want to. So I just be very careful trading this. Know your risk around some of these meme coins and then have fun with it. So if you're having fun, gambling on these, then go ahead. Long term, though, is a lot safer, right? If you're okay with holding for a long time, sure, go ahead. Especially with the hype, you never know. These things get hyped up and pumped randomly all the time. In this case, though, here we go. Let's start with the daily in our fib. Guess what? We had a 9.562 trillion order block up there. The high, we perfectly rejected it. Now we came off this high from before, around 12, really. 12's up there. I guess around 11.70, 11.6 there. So there you go. That's why you don't ignore those order blocks, especially, my goodness, the 26% order block. Now, really quick, I'm going to take a swig of Gatorade. Sorry, we're not sponsored by Gatorade, but take a swig of this real fast, and then we'll continue. All right, let's get to it. Now, we've watched this several times. We talk about, bouncing off of the 618, stuff like that with the Fibonacci. Bounce there. Why? The reason you wouldn't take if you want to scalp, sure, you get this bounce here. You could have, taken 2 or 3 day swing on Shiba and have a great time. But then you can see things like this. You see, like a lot of the times, this is what's going to happen. So you see things like this where it goes down and bounce off that 618 and it closed up. It's like, oh, it's going to reverse, right? It's like, no, you need to make sure there's a bullish setup. First off, you have a lower high that was just formed. That's not a bullish setup. You also had a bearish change character. That's not a bullish setup. So this is where we say, like, even if you pull like Fibonacci's off of this, you can't just immediately assume that because it had that golden pocket retracement that it's going to just rally from there. Like that's not what you want to look for. What you want to watch is that first initial bounce, right? And then structure to be broken, right? In that case, then you look for your nice key retracement levels. In this case, right now, Shiba Inu, Shiba Weeba, over 985, 10. One, it's not, I'm going to just say 10 on this, 95. This point right here, right? Rejected perfectly, sold off. That's my first initial move into, okay, this might be trying to reverse. All right. What do I have drawn here? Yeah, no. Something like this puppy, break through that. Okay, not that puppy. But the Shiba puppy for sure. Break through that, swing, right? Come down somewhere, 50% retracement on that. Then look for that bounce back to the 10.79 maybe. Now for Shiba though, I will say this is starting to look good. This level has wicked several times and it's held, right? It's held its own. That's why I think even a low structure break, even though I would rather see a structure up here break, a low structure break like that 984 would be pretty key because that is above this high as well. It's above this support level that it originally had before it made its run yet again. And also the oscillator is extended to the downside. So a lot of faith in that potential level. On the weekly here, you can see it had a divergence. No, not really. That had a higher low. It had a divergence here, but a massive gap to divergence that confirmed there. You had your higher low here. So, this is something that we watch for too. This is why we say the gap. Oh no, my cool red glow went away. I have to charge my thing. But in this case, this is why we say we like to see the gap divergence, as you can see on the oscillator at the bottom. When it's connected by two extended points, that's a really good sign that a reversal is starting. Reversal is starting, not that you have to buy at that point. Now, this is what you look for then. Look for a nice higher low formation, right? Turning point there. I would have, right there would have been a banging entry. especially with price having a higher low as well. So that there is something when you look for when you're looking at those divergences. But in this case right now, the level it's at's not bad. Let's get over 984 and then look for another retracement for a bullish entry and then rally to the 1075, maybe the 11 again. So keep an eye on that. All right, let's move. Shiba. Short term, though, it doesn't look too shabby. Did I pull up the 4 hour? I don't think I did, but yeah, short term doesn't look too shabby. I would keep an eye on it for sure. It broke out of a bear flag potential breakdown, so that's good. You would want a retracement, 9 back to 9 maybe for if you wanted to scalp it. Euro JPY. Oh, anda. All right, my Euro JPY pair. Ooh, this is looking good. I'm glad you sent a good one. Guys, we're at 199 entries. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Remember, we eventually might have a loyalty plan in the upcoming weeks where the more you tune in, the more entries you might get at the end of the week. So stay tuned for that. We are live every single day at 1 Eastern. So we'll see here all next week. But in this case, next Friday, we'll be doing another giveaway. So don't worry if you don't win this week. You can always come back next week. All right, guys, we have broken this downtrend on the Euro JPY 4 hour. Love that. We have a nice divergence, somewhat divergence that formed. It's not fully confirmed just yet. Probably need another day before we confirm this. But right here, you can see the value of these lows increase while these decrease on price, which is good. But you know what I see? One of my favorite things of all time. I absolutely love this. Right off this high. Look at that. If you ever see something like that, just know structure's there. It's your friend. It's patting you on the back. It's saying, all right, buddy, I got you. This trend's going to continue. And guess what? It has continued. It's retraced very nicely. If we go back to this, look at this too. Recent swing point to recent swing point. The perfect 618 golden pocket, 50% retracement, bounce off of a previous high. I mean, this is just, whoever mentioned this, I love you. This is incredible. Trend break here, you're looking real nice. The minute you see, I mean, if you see some bullish price action, this is great RR right here. I mean, you could have taken a long down here. Everything just lined up perfectly. This is why sometimes I just wish I traded more Forex in this case. Sometimes it just lines up so well. Look at the daily. All right, daily, treating these fair value gaps very nicely. What else is just lovely about this, by the way, is the fact that we have bearish money flow coming out of this. Like, that's awesome, meaning that this trend is ready to rally, right? This trend's nice and broke above these highs here. It's holding up now above that high, like we said. Why do you use 12 signal sensitivity instead of the optimal sensitivity level on autopilot? I like the default. I'm the default guy. I'm just so used to it. That's the best part about the indicators. It comes down to what you're used to. If you know what works for what sensitivity, I don't have to worry about learning all the other sensitivities. But that's how I like to do it. If the optimized level or the autopilot works for you, then do that. I mean, that's the whole point. It's to go with what works for you. In my opinion, for me, I like and know how the 12 sensitivity works. But a lot of these, I mean, I even mostly use price action concepts. I like to use signals and overlays when I can see really clean trends. I like this one actually right now. Very nice. So I'll tick those on and off. But I'm a big fan of price action concepts and the oscillator. I love them together. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If we're looking at weeklies, though, that's when I sprinkle in a little signals and overlays. But in this case, guys, yeah, it's just everything here looks so good. This is the daily. And let's see, from that retracement there, we said that was the perfect pocket. What else is nice is it filled all that sell side imbalance when it went through there. It said, no, we're good. I like up here that there was sellers that tried to, or they actually took over. So in this case, if this target does get hit, because there was a lot of sellers up here, there's probably going to be buyers now there. Sellers get exhausted, right? Because we see out peak and sell volume at that level. Next time it reaches it, might be buyers. But you might have a chance, Sniper. Remember, we're doing it once a week, man. So come back next week too if you don't end up being a winner. But Man, let's try to get to 200 likes today, guys. We're at 160. I think we could do it. It's be our first 200 likes. Well, I don't know. We've hit 200 before, but I'm gonna make it a goal today. I'm gonna make it a goal. But man, Euro JPY, like we said, let's dive in to that 4 hour one more time. We're breaking that trend. I personally, if you didn't make an entry, whoever mentioned this one, if you didn't take your entry off of just this absolutely gorgeous retracement in this golden pocket previous high setup here, then what you want to wait for now is a structure change. So this is exactly what I would do, is because I'm not in this. I will be watching now. I want to break this little high here, right? If I can break that high here, you'll probably see a little bit of resistance off of this large wick here. Come back down. Break that high, come back down, and then hold above that high. If you can get price to retrace, hold above that high, show support. That's where I would take my better risk spot, and then I would target, honestly, going to the daily now. Off of that, I would target right up here. The low of this order block is 162.5 and 163. That's what I would look for right now. That looks really good. But if you did get off this retracement right here, 150, 160, 159, hold on, man. Hold on. Appreciate it. That great symbol. Great symbol. Everybody bring those in more. Instead of these Shibas. Give me those instead of these Shibas. All right, here we go. On to the next one. What we got? Tesla. Ooh, buddy, Tesla. You mistaken. You hurt us dearly, but your numbers were garbage. All right. Tesla, very bad earnings. Over an entire year, they didn't make many or any money. They did, but it just they didn't increase much at all. You can see my lovely alerts I had set here because I was super excited that maybe if they beat, we'd have a really good move. We didn't, and that's fine. Thanks, Market Virus. Black T-shirt is awesome, but this is actually, you can't really see it. Oh, I have my whatever it's called on contrast up, but we are probably going to give away some merch too alongside a little moolah upcoming weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Eventually, that's why I got to keep tuning in. Tesla, though, extremely extended on the daily, which is good. The problem is, once again, Sniper, you're already entered, my friend, okay? So you don't need to worry about keep messaging that. So it's not up to me. It's up to the Streamlabs bot. He will pick the winners. But in this case, for Tesla, guys, numbers are everything, right? Even if, TA is great, numbers are everything, right? I will say this, this could easily come down to the 157 mark. It's in a rough spot now. Obviously, you do have some lows sitting here. Tesla's known to bounce as well, especially after gap downs, as you can see here. But notice how much it gapped down after this earnings report. Let me see here. We had this gap down here, right? And then it ran another, from that gap down. It ran another 13%. So if we were to take that into account, there you go. There's your 160 level. You might get that same thing, but look what happened shortly after that rallied down to the bottom there. It went right back up, filled that and more for 26% rally. So in this current state, the news ain't great. Man, I'm just rhyming on stream. Rescue plan. Lay out 10 items for must. Wait, did we get we probably had some upgrades and downgrades on this ish. Let's see if there are price targets from some of these banks have they reported. Man, so many people post things about freaking. Give me some price targets. Let's see. Somebody said Tesla is maintained at buy, maintained outperform, target with $300 a share. So 300. Somebody's targeting. I don't know about that right now. Maybe long term. I don't know. So this is just, it has that here you go. You had this, gap down on earnings, ran another 15%. Here's your gap down on earnings. I would just say be prepared for a little bit more red before you see green, okay? Wait, why did that delete? Did you delete? Oh, Streamlabs deleted that. Who cares? Hey, sorry, the We can bring that back. Why did the bot take you out there? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fix that. Let me fix that real quick on the mod tools. That's my bad. That's the the paragraph protection. I'm gonna take that off. I see. Oh, and I see your thing. You're saying use a couple of your indicators on trading the ICD constant breaker blocks. What is the name of the indicators? So this is if you type in exclamation indicators, it'll tell you. It'll tell you what indicators I'm using. So you can just type that in. If it didn't delete you there, it probably would have popped up for you. But yeah, check that out. This is the price action concept, signals and overlays, and the oscillator matrix. But thanks for asking your question. All right, guys. Tesla, yeah. Could have that potential breakdown yet again. All right, on to the next one. Give me something good. Solana. Let's go. We're going to try to jump through these a little bit. Sorry, we're a little bit slower today on the because of the stream. Oh, baby. All right. Solana, remember, we said this the other day. We watched this beautiful bounce, right? We were like, ooh, buddy, this looks good. All right, on the weekly here. We got lows. We got lows lining up with highs here on the weekly. We bounced right off that gap. You can bounce off right off that fair value gap as well. And then look right off those highs. Beautiful. Everything perfectly lined up. If we were to take, I mean, honestly, I would just do this in my opinion. We're going to do a swing from this point for the fib. You can see 618, beautiful bounce lined up with those highs, but also this point. But that one's way more significant than this one. But here you go. You can see here, both of these lining up very nicely where it's at. So in this case, that 618 did line up perfectly at a previous high. We just talked about that on the Euro JPY there. But again, here is your overall trend. You're stuck in a downtrend. You had the BOS to that low, but remember what we said. If we want these trends to continue, goodness gracious. New words forming every day on the LuxAlgo live stream. If you want these trends to continue, we wanted a reject off of that BOS. So us being above that is actually a really good sign. PAC 1.6. Look at they're catching me off guard. Look at me. All right. I'm sorry. I'll refresh that for you. I had to refresh my trading view. If it's 1.6. Look, you're catching me, man. Grover be really mad at me right now. Sorry, I was focused on the giveaway today for you guys. I didn't update my indicator, but we can maybe go over the updates here soon. Let me see. Let me make sure all this is back up. All right, 1 sec. He caught me. All right. Nah, man, I just added it again, 1.5. I probably need to refresh to get it. Yeah, if you ever have issues with updating, by the way, guys, just refresh your trading view and add it. Okay. But we'll do that. We'll have it updated and let you know on the updates here probably next week when we come back stream because we don't have much time. All right. But again, remember that BOS to the downside, right? We looked at that, and we want to see price reject that to continue its trend. AJ is saying, so if you're amazed at seeing the soul chart, then you didn't take the trade based on your yesterday's analysis. I don't see you putting your money where your mouth is. I mean, what are you talking about? Yesterday, I don't even know. Did we even go over Solana yesterday, or it was 2 days ago? Remember I said we're bearish. We were bearish under that BOS there. And if price, yesterday or on Tuesday, we bounced off of this low, right? It's still a bearish trend. So like I said, I'm not day trading this thing. We'll look at which one 2 days ago, Brad. All right, I got you. But in this case, it's still in a bearish trend. I'm not going to fight the trend. Me personally, I wouldn't long this until we get a breakout, right? I wouldn't short. I'm not going to short these lows. Why would I do that? Even on the 4 hour here, you would want to see, an actual setup for this to, break lower. But it didn't form, right? So, what are you going to do? You can't be 100% profitable. It's not something that I would even worry about. But again, you're not going to be, in a long-term stance, you're not going to be long off this level. We talked about getting long even 3 days ago. We talked about getting long below 80s. Then we can go back in that stream, too. You follow my concept, but did you not remember on the stream we talked about being long under 80? If you wanted a great value for a long-term position, you'd be long under the 80s. That was a good value level, and hopefully, I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear enough. But in this case, like if you're so this stream, guys, just to clarify, this stream, I am a long-term investor. I like to trade long-term swings, and I'm not going to fight any trends. Long-term is the least amount of risk possible when you're investing in coins like Solana and stuff like that. If you're taking my ideas and you're putting them into a 1 hour, 5 minute, 15-minute type, trading, it's not going to work. I promise you it's not going to work. These are all long-term ideas. Don't take any of my ideas. You can take my concepts and kind of develop them into a short-term strategy like we're talking about, following the proper structure. But you also need to know what your actual risk to reward is every time you're taking a trade. You have to understand your own strategy, right? Under the 80s, we talked about it being a great price, and it broke under the 80s like we talked about from these highs, and it's bounced because of it. If yesterday I was talking, short, it was more than likely because of, this downtrend that we're in on the daily chart. But again, for me, it's one of those things where I hope everybody understands that we're looking at very high time frame things. So under 80, I was saying this is a very good price to buy for a very long-term trade, back up to the high 100s. If you're taking that idea and trying to day trade it and going short on the day trading side, or if you're going, if I said that this could continue lower, then you need to identify what time frame I'm looking at. Okay, so I'm sorry if I've been a little weird about that. I can look if you're in the giveaway, by the way. So I want to make that very clear, guys. I'm doing long term, telling you what levels are worth your value in the long term. Okay, don't take this into short term type of situation. And again, if you can take the ideas around how to trade the structure points, stuff like that, on shorter term, type of trades, right? But again, with any type of setups like this, and here you go. This is where we talk about how you could do it in the short term, all right? So if we were looking at the 1 hour here, right, you had a BOS, reject. If you were to take that spot, right, let's just say that was where you wanted to take it. For one, I necessarily wouldn't take it here because it's come off of all these lows. It broke those lows. But that happened way too long. I would take it on this change character up here once it shows that reject. So you also need to consider where you're at, right? Oscillator's way down here. So in the short term, that's nothing I would consider taking as a day trade down here. But let's just say you took my idea around the BOS rejecting here. It's like that is your ideal risk to reward, because in this case, if you got a clean reject and you take your, let's say, a short off of this, you have a very low risk, right? You can take a 2 to 1. I mean, this thing hit, let's see, 1.5 to 1. But then you could have targeted that low, and then look, you would have gotten stopped, right? So like the generalized idea, here, it makes sense, but you have to also realize where you are in the current trend, right? So it being all the way down there, no reason to really take a short off that level. Now, getting a retracement like this, and if we get a new change of character to the downside, then maybe consider you consider a short position. Sorry, let me read your thing. I myself play weekly, daily, and monthly for swings, though. Took Sol at 82. I'm just worried why you didn't you took it. I did the analysis for the okay. So I see what you're saying. So in this case, for one, for things like Solana and Bitcoin and stuff, from different levels. It's something where with Bitcoin, I personally, for my strategy in any crypto, I buy like $50 a week in all of these assets. Okay. So that's how I do it for like a long-term type hold. If I believe in a stock, right? If I believe in a stock, if I believe in a coin, for crypto specifically, I do the $50 a week. But if I see a core level like below 80 like this come into play, I more than likely will buy more when I see those good levels, like we said, sub 80. So in that range there, that's something that I was really looking for a buy, and you can see we did play out quite well. But in that case, when I say that, more than likely I'm adding to a position. I'm not just starting a position there. Because when I believe in something, and I would, this is a lesson too to learn, I guess. When I believe in like a certain thing like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, stuff like this, I, no matter what, will invest weekly in it because that compound interest is going to actually play out for me in the long term a lot better. But if I see it come off of a high or something after an aggressive run, if it gives me a good value area, I'll double down on certain areas. So that's kind of the way I go about looking for good entries on a lot of these. And I'm here trying to just give you guys the idea of what's good entries and how to use these indicators to give you your best entries. So make sure, when you go about reading or hearing the analysis we go over on the stream, you understand, for one, what time frame we're on, what time frames we're looking on, like how long you actually trade for. If you're a long-term trader, then you could follow similar analysis that we're doing. But if you're a short-term trader, then you want to somewhat consider the levels that we give you per thing that we analyze before you consider any type of day trade, right? Because you can take our daily analysis and stuff and actually day trade it. Like we're saying here on Solana, if we go to that 4 hour here, let me explain like a day trade type strategy, right? So in my opinion right now, like we've talked about, we're coming off of these lows for Solana. If you wanted to take my general analysis on this, would be for one, we need to get a confirmed high. We want to hold support over that change character, okay? So if this thing were to reject that high and come back down to that change character and show support, you have the best risk to reward at that level, so long as there's confirmed buyers coming in. This is happening at some lows, happening at some BOS. A lot of volume, or a lot of times it's got bought up at that level. So why wouldn't history potentially repeat itself? When that happens, though, that's where your highest probability is. So you're going to be taking an entry similar to not like that. It's not so short. Similar to like this, if you're going to day trade, right, you want to find that level, and then you're going to be targeting, your 2 to 1. So that's your best risk to reward. Now, everybody that's traded for a while, not every trade's going to play out accordingly. But that's why we look at higher time frames to confirm levels that are actually worth buying these assets. And we always recommend, when you invest, find good levels to invest in and then hold for the long term, because that's inevitably going to be your best bet for anybody that's new. Especially in trading. So hopefully that kind of explains what we're going about here when we look at these analyses. I want to make sure that you identify those levels we're pointing out. So sorry if I was unclear about that before, but I'm just trying to help you guys. All right, on to the next one, and I'll explain when we go over these other ones. And we'll start with TRB, USD, TRB, USD. All right, this one, wow. This is wild. Okay. This one's a little interesting. The only thing that is weird, so this is the problem. So this one has 81,000 volume today. Average volume is 119,000. So the problem with this is it's another one of those things where we were kind of just talking about. If you believe in this, you believe that it has potential to, my gosh, that went up very high. If you think it has, the tech is worth it. These pumps are nice, actually. This is something you maybe want to invest in weekly or once a month, to kind of get into your position, right? Right now, this thing extended to the downside, not extending to the upside. This is a rug pull type situation. This thing can just get hammered at any point. Let's look at the daily. The daily, sadly, because of this spike, is technically still in a downwards move. Your average was 93.4. Thanks for explaining the day trade concepts. Okay. Your average is 93.4. Holy crap. Good job, man. That's awesome. So yeah, you're okay right now. Okay. So, in this case, here we go. This is where I would take, value into consideration. Where is the value sitting? So we broke into this range right here. Right now, you are right at that POC. So in this case, if you're if you're below 100, I'd say you're okay for now. Especially with this recent bump. If that was news driven, that's really great. But there you go. The bottom of that range that potential people could actually buy this again would be 87, which is not far off from your actual entry point, which is good. But then there you go. We rejected that high before. But 162 would be that upper move. So you are still on the daily in a bearish change of character. So in this case, if you actually were to, if you're continuing to hold this, then you should be fine right now. Maybe watch out for this level here, 140. Clearly that, several times has at least had some sellers come in around in the 140s. So that's what I'd be careful for. But for now, you seem to be okay, especially with this nice volume spike. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. XRP. Now I'm curious on XRP, where we were at last week. I think we were still bearish on this. Yeah, because we were talking about the 48s. All right. So yeah, XRP, we were talking about the 48s for the breakdown. We'll just stay on this chart. We're talking about that, low 40s, or sorry, high 40s, 49.57. Wow, that did actually pretty good down there. But here you go. Yet again, this is why we always bring up the fixed range profile here. You can see it entered that range roughly here. I'll say this candle. And there, it's right off of that, right? This gets bought back up in this case. So once again, anytime I would consider taking an actual short or something on these, it's one of those things where you, like on a daily time frame, you have that break of structure, you look for that reject yet again. Maybe you take a day trade when it's already at this level, right? This is at the bottom of this range. When I identify this range, it came through, the halfway point. It's at the bottom. When it's at the bottom, I would never consider you guys actually taking shorts in this. In this case, if you're on a lower time frame, you can maybe scalp it short. You can identify that, okay, this thing is setting up to go lower. But the minute it entered this high volume traded level between 48 and 54, that's where we've talked about before of like having, potentially support or buyers, because this already tells you people believe in this level, right? A lot of trading goes on in that level. As you can see here, you have that big pump today. Now, in this case, that high there, it broke down very clear off that high, came down, touched. Now, 48 would have been nice. But in this case, now you can see bouncing off of that, we're continuing back up. If we go to that 4 hour here, obviously daily, still bearish on a daily time frame, right? But again, that level at 50 or below 50 was not a bad area to buy, especially if you're a little bit long term adding onto a position or willing to start a position. Great position to start for sure. Same thing here though. You have a change of character that's lining up with a break of structure right now. I would want to see this thing show some strength and then support for a continuation. You need that retracement to give you that continuation. If anything, right now, 55 on a 4 hour is possible if that support does show itself. For now, though, daily time frame is still bearish until we fully break this trend, right? This is the first good sign of this being considered support. But with anything like on a daily, we want to see at least one structure point kind of break. This is very minor structure, but it lines up with a low that had support on. So above 55, if we can show support over that, then you can maybe see the 60s, right? But in this case, you are at the bottom of that value range. So this could be this bottom right now for this big rally. But 48 is where we really wanted to see it. This could be a temporary rebound, but still bearish on a daily. But we are at the bottom of that range. So long-term wise, for your investment, anything under 50 is pretty solid for a buy, right? Especially if you're going to hold for at least like a year or more. That's a great area in which to buy it. Short term, if we dive into this 1 hour here, short term wise, and here you go. This is great structure. Oh, I just have that on my background there, Brad. I know rocks. I know I'm using the old version. I was going to add it there, but because we have limited time, it'll be up to 1.6 on it is 1.6 right now, by the way, and I could even tell you the updates on it. Hold on, for 1.6. 1.6. Beep. We launched it like when we actually just launched it. 1.6. Yeah, we launched it when we were going live. So let's see. Will it let me add it? I have to refresh my, you know what? Because people keep saying that I'm on the wrong one, I'll refresh it. Fine. All right, 1 second. They literally added it when we were live here. That's cool. Let's refresh. There you go. Well, bam, 1.6, baby. All right, cool. In 1.6, hold up. Hold the storm. Wham, there we go. Full screen that ish. Make sure you guys refresh your trading view. Update to 1.6 of the price action concepts indicator. All right. Let me add in what I normally do. Let me update all my ish here. Normal. Monochrome, normal. Okay. Now we save. All right, real quick for the updates. Internal market structure link now affects the detected structures in the scanner. We have a entered order block and imbalance logic has changed. Now considers wicks and not the closing price. You can also see all these updates in the announcements of the Discord, guys. Make sure to join that or type !Discord to join the free Discord. Renamed balance price range imbalance to double FVG. Makes sense. Default colors for patterns changed to green/red instead of blue/red to ensure no confusion with trend lines. Cool. So make sure you have that. And the ultimate people had added inverse fair value gaps feature within the backtesting system. All right, guys. So there you go. Those are your updates on that. Let me, what were we just at? We were at XRP. How come we, so end of the stream, we're going to be picking the winners. We have 3 winners going to be picked end of the stream. Make sure, guys, upon your entries, make sure you have access to your YouTube channels. What am I saying? Email. Make sure you have access to your YouTube channel's email because that's how we're going to reach you. They will be picked here in about 14 minutes. So be ready. Be ready. 188 likes, guys. We're almost there. Almost at 200. Let's try to get it, okay? Let's try to get it. All right. Back to XRP on the daily. All right, so here's another thing that we really like. I didn't see the weekly. Weekly chart, you can see here you are holding over these highs, right? So once again, guys, if we're over 60, I'm bullish over 60 for now. It's still stuck in that downtrend, but it is trying to hold over those highs daily. You know, core value sitting here. Yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, patience, right? A lot of volume at that level. This is Bitstamp. I should have been on Bitstamp originally. Let's pull up one more time. There you go. Profiles. Let's do this one more time, actually. Sorry. The majority of the range got entered like here. Let's just say here. This is quite interesting. A lot of volume sitting down here. So, you know, that's why, you know, we were saying below 50 is good level. Now, this is the long-term daily here on Bitstamp. Coinbase, we had it right where we kind of were. But that's actually interesting to see. If we actually, let's even look here. I guess if we were to actually take this, I'm going to say off this level here. So it was trading that level through there recently. Okay, so a lot of value down there. A lot of volume traded, obviously, at this low at 33 cents or 36 cents. But I would say in this current move that we're having right now, and it's just trading off, if it were to break this order block, then, you know, you have quite a bit down here in the 40s. But for now, it seems as if it doesn't want to. So I would say in this current time frame right here, you're definitely going to see some buyers under 50, which is what we got. All right. Sorry on the delays there. All right, next one. I want to make sure we get everything at 12 minutes. FTM. Starting to get warm in here again. I'm going to unplug my camera so it doesn't overheat. Give me a second. There we go. FTM USD. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Binance. Okay. All right. Alrighty, guys. In this case, this is already looking pretty. Look what happened here. This is quite impressive. All right, still stuck on a downtrend on the daily, right? In this case, price did come down. It tried to bounce off the 618, but didn't really treat it very well, right? In this case, you know, it treated it here. Now, we've talked about this a billion times, right? If you were actually going to trade this off that 618 retracement, I would have wanted this high broken here. Came down, right? Like this, comes down. It should have broken out like that, came back down and done something like this, right? If you actually wanted a clean formation off of that 618 retracement, we didn't get it. We broke to the downside like we're seeing now. We're trying to show support now in this range. So in this case right now, off these highs here, you can see the amount of price lining up. I would be bullish if price can get its butt up and get through 40. We need to break out of 40. Honestly, it's hard because you see all these makeshift lower highs here. Like, honestly, the cleanest part for it to break would be 44. But if you want to do like a short-term, like, kind of potential trade, I do like that this resistance is forming with this higher low before it had that big move, but is also forming now with this level area. So if you can get up and clear this imbalance here all the way up to 39, break out of 40, then retrace back to this previous high over here, that's where I would look for a bounce around 37, 38. So that's kind of how I would trade this. On the daily, though, stay on page. On the daily, though, you can see here we've just flipped on a bearish money flow side. We're trying to show a little bit of retracement off this lower order block. Not too, like, I mean, this could be very temporary buying. In this case, though, look at where it's lining up right now, and price is extending. Low there, bounce there. It's inside that area. So it really needs to get through 37 if you want to be bullish on this. Right now, obviously short term, like very short term, 4-hour candles aren't like, that's great. Let me go to the 1 hour. Great little bullish run there. You know, something you maybe could have traded like off of this movement. But again, this thing doesn't look like it'd be worth. There's just the spread on this looks like it's probably pretty bad. Doesn't look like it'd be worth day trading, in my opinion. So 1 hour's not, or this is a 1 hour. This is a 1 hour and it's that choppy? That's insane. So yeah, 4-hour time frame. It does look like it wants to make a bullish run, but I'm not going to consider this until it gets above 38. Okay, so 38 bullish, below that bearish. If it breaks 30, then you definitely have a ride down to 27 at least. So keep an eye on that. Above 38, what you can then wait for a setup. And this is the 14-hour. Even let's go to the 4-hour again here. Same situation, 38. So really keep an eye on that 38. All right, on to the next one. We got 8 minutes. Down to our stocks. Oh, Manta. Actually, we'll do Manta in a sec, kind of mix it up. We'll start with Boeing and then go to Manta and then do Netflix last. And then we got to do our giveaway, guys. We got to pick some winners. Guys, we're 7 likes away. We're 7 likes away, my friends. Wow. All right, Bank of America. I'm going to take off the fair value gaps in this case because of these opening closing gaps. All right, so Boeing here, and you know, my biggest thing I will say is the fact that I personally like to watch for, you know, decent divergence setups. So I would want a new low on Boeing, in my opinion. You can see prices trying to come back up here. It did try to set a new low here, but honestly, if you could get to 191, that would be really nice. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly's coming off of that. So, I mean, it's trying to show support in the 198s. I do like where it's at. Here, this is a great spot for actually a fixed ranged. Came into that level here. Here you go. So weekly time frame. This is from back in 2020, guys. Here you go. Look at it. It blew. So it was having a great time. And look, this is why these value rangers are great. So when it had that full close over this, look, it had a very big pump on that day. It came up, almost hit the high of this range here from its previous retracement. But it didn't because of that news, right? The news of the Boeing door blowing off and then one, engine on fire. Some crazy news coming out for Boeing. We're 1 like away, guys, from 200. Let's get it. But in this case, here you go. You're coming off. You're back into this range. Now, there's your POC. POC sitting at 180. I would say before I trade Boeing, I would want to see the 180 level. Not 196 would be that low. But Honestly, Boeing, I think, is always, if you can catch a dip at any point in time, like March was obviously a great time to buy it. But if you never catch a dip on Boeing, it's a pretty good stock to hold on to, in my opinion. But right now, I would want to see 180 at least. But long-term, 10-year plus stock for sure. Are you number 200, Brad? That'd be awesome. Let's see. We'll get it. We'll get it. Give me that number 200, Brad. So 180, guys, we like, that would be the target to look for. Let's look at Manta. Mr. Manta. What am I doing? I can't. Where's my delete key? Binance. Okay, daily. Is there something new that I'm missing? Let's go to the spot on here. Oh, this is definitely new. Let's do 1 hour. Yikes. Okay. 3 million on the spot. Is this right? Let's do. Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay. This is a newer one. Or was it trading longer on Pyth? No. Let's go here. All right. All right, this is new, right? So here you go. Guys, I love that we're seeing people from all around the world. We hit 200 likes. We really appreciate it. We have just a few more minutes here, guys, to go over these last two and make sure to enter the giveaway. We're going to do the giveaway here in just a second. And for one, if you want to be a winner, you have to be subscribed. It will only pick the winners that are subscribed to the channel. And also, we will be doing a giveaway again next Friday, so make sure to come back for that. And we might give some extra entries to some of our returning viewers. So we appreciate you guys being back, if you are a returning viewer. But hit that subscribe button, and very soon we'll see you. All right, in this case, Manta, $3.30. That's what I'd watch. I'd look for a retracement to $3.30 to see if it wants to hold over that high. People want to buy it there. This is very new. You can see here, daily here, it's just opened like Thursday of last week. So in this case, go research this thing. See if it's worth it. See if it's worth the trading. See if it's worth your investment. It's a big thing, I would say. But yeah, busted right through that high. I would say so long as price can actually go show support on that high, then you can maybe trade it. That's how I would look at it. There's not really much to look at this thing. We can keep an eye on it, though. I like the volume. But this is something I would pay attention to the news. 4 hour retrace nicely. Look here. I mean, this thing is already respecting the way price moves, right? It bounced roughly over these highs and continued. Some imbalances here, buy imbalance, very small ones. Over that high, though, it was lovely, a little retracement. We don't have enough data to actually consider anything. But yes. Good work, good work. Netflix. and FLX USD. What am I doing? I'm just not even thinking. Netflix released a coin. In this case, guys, remember, Netflix just had their earnings. They had a huge end of quarter last year. They had a massive increase in subscribers, which is big. Have a deal with the WWE to bring live TV to Netflix. Absolutely banging stock right now. If you caught this dip, congratulations to that $200 range. This is where we talk about certain stocks like these, especially in the streaming space, because they're very competitive in that space. But if you get any type of increase that is ever this aggressive, same with buys, right? This is a area in which 76% in just a few November to May, like 6-7 months. That kind of move. Definitely buys in those areas. You just have to figure out where a good level was. In my opinion, for that sell-off, I would have bought it in the 260s, right? 260s would have been a great buy area. That was a previous low that it had there. You can see it didn't fall off too much. Fell off maybe 100 after that, but even that, you can see we're at 572 yet again. Weekly chart on Netflix, absolutely banging. Right here is actually where you might see some resistance, okay? You might see some resistance right here. We'll see if it actually wants to break through that. But you have these highs already sitting there. If it gets through that, I think you're good. I think you're definitely good. Whoever wanted Netflix, bottom of this range started here, and then now you're outside that value range. You just, had resistance on it, came back down, retraced, made a point off the point of control there, and then popped right through it. So, less liquidity up here means more bull run, less liquidity on either side. Obviously, it's going to push it in one direction so long as that pressure's kind of, domino effect through those highs. So looking really good. This would be the first level I would maybe consider watching for sure is 570s. 600 up there though. If you can clear 600, you might see that high get broken. But weekly chart looks fantastic. Daily similar, those highs. Yeah, that's pretty much on Netflix. They had that awesome news, which is great. Man, real quick, let's go back over Bitcoin one last time. Oh, my Bitcoin. Oh, I love you. My Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin. Talked about this a million times. Fair value gap. Remember, we were watching that. It bounced perfectly off of it back over 42,000. End of stream, we hit 42,000. That's incredible. Sorry. My bad. Reading a message. But in this case, yeah, guys, 42,000. We wanted to see that break, and it's starting to break right now, which is very awesome to see. So now that we're over 42K, we want to see 42K hold. We want to see these highs hold right here. We go to the 4 hours. Go to this 4 hour here. Okay. So once that high is set, that 42,000 mark right here with this low and this imbalance sitting here, it's already trying to break 42,308. If you can kind of show me that these highs are worth buying at, we might see a nice extension over that. So, yes, the 45K was great. That was a great target that we talked about. And I think you mentioned yesterday, so great job on that, Market Virus. Freaking killing it over here. But, again, remember, we really wanted to see that 42 break, and we got it right now. So, now we need to see price hold 42. I don't necessarily like that we've extended on the oscillator, but notice this. Oscillator highs broke. Oscillator highs broke down, right? So fantastic little break to the upside. 42 is what we want to hold daily off those lows. I mean, it just works so well. So really, really focus that 42 mark all day into the weekend, guys. Okay. It is time, baby, for the very first $300 giveaway going into the end. Before we pick, I'm going to update you guys one last time, okay? If you get chosen as a winner, make sure... Sorry, let's start over. If you want to win, okay, if you did the exclamation 100, you have to be subscribed. It will not pick a winner that isn't subscribed, okay? So I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to go and subscribe right now. Make sure you're subscribed, otherwise the bot won't pick it. Now, second, the way we're going to reach out to you is via email that's attached to your YouTube channel, okay? Only to your YouTube channel. That's where we're going to chat with you, okay? Besides that, we're going to reach out in the next 24 hours. Pay attention for tonight. We'll reach out to you, and we'll figure out the best way to get you your winnings. But I think it's time. So I'm going to close the entries in 10, 9. I'll give you guys just a few seconds. 8. You have the whole stream to enter. So if you're not entered. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Everybody got one entry. Okay. You can no longer enter the giveaway. The giveaway is over. Thanks for entering, and let's pick our winners. We had 252 of you. So here goes the first one. If you're ready. We'll also reach out if you're not here. Don't worry about it. Here goes the first one, guys. We're picking a winner. Dame. Dame, you have $100. We're going to reach out to you via email. Thanks for entering, and we will reach out to you guys. Next up is... Give me somebody good. Young Hustle Chimp. The monkey man himself. Young Hustle Chimp. You have also $100. We'll reach out via email. Thanks for entering. And guys, next week, remember, we're going to do it again, but we have one more winner, so don't worry. Here we go. Let's pick our final winner, and then next week you have a chance. Robert, my boy, you have also won $100. Guys, if you entered, thanks for entering. And again, this is a weekly thing, guys, so don't worry. Come back next Friday. We'll on Monday, though, if you want to vote for how we're going to give away everything on Friday, come on Monday, because then we will vote yet again to do, either 100 for 3 people, 300 for 1 person. It's up to you guys. But one more time, Dame, Young Hustle Chimp, and Mr. Robert. We will reach out to you via email in the next 24 hours, so stay tuned for that email. Make sure to also check your spam. But again, next 24 hours, we'll wait for your response. And guys, don't worry. Giveaways are going to be coming back. Also, we're going to be doing giveaways on our Twitter here soon. So make sure to hit that Twitter, which is in the description, or just do exclamation Twitter, and you will get you'll get a link to our Twitter. We're going to be doing giveaways there, as well as daily analysis on that Twitter. So make sure you go there and you get hooked up with that. All right. But in this case, guys, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Make sure you understand our analysis next time you come through. We're trying to give you the best value for your long-term investing. But again, if you missed it, guys, you have a chance to win again next week. So tune in next week. We really hope that you enjoy the stream. And man, our winners once again. Can I just repost these? No, I can't. Winners once again were Dame. He said, "Oh my God, no way." Young Hustle Chimp, didn't get a response from him. Robert as well. Robert CS68, congratulations. Let me double check anything that we need to remember going into Monday. But guys, Monday we will decide on if we want to give away another $100 or $300 at the end of the week in $100 increments, or a $300 to one person, and we'll let you know. I think multiple giveaways is probably what you're always going to go for. Okay. But I think that's where we're going to leave you guys. Bitcoin, man, what a way to end the week, up 5% today. So weekend pumps, maybe they'll come, maybe they won't. But it'll be exciting to see. But I do have to go. Our winners, congrats. We'll reach out via the email connected to our YouTube channel. But thanks again, guys. Tuning out. LuxAlgo, Jacob. Mickey's in the background. Oh, the other thing is Mickey's going live in the Discord every single day for more charts and using the LuxAlgo indicators. Make sure you join the Discord, exclamation Discord, or just look at the link in the description. It's absolutely free, by the way. We're also in there trading every day. But I do got to go. I got to jump on another show. Catch me on Paul Barron, guys. Go to Paul Barron's YouTube channel. Catch me there in just a sec, or actually later this evening, because it'll get uploaded later. But I got to go do a recording with them, and I will see you guys on Monday. We'll vote for the next giveaway on Friday. So see you then. Peace. I said check your emails, winners.